The jukebox lets you listen to music in your base. No one said survival couldn't be funky.
Just like that, you can see we have a whole ton of new stuff, including power cell chargers. We've got a water filtration machine, which is already producing very nicely. And we've got a new rebreather, booster tank, still suit, and all sorts of good stuff. However, those two things in particular right here won't be up for long because, of course, in this same episode, as you can see from the thumbnail and title, we are moving base. And I'm going to be honest, I have a really cool plan for a couple bases here in Below Zero, and I really just can't wait to get building them. Oh, and I should probably mention that I only ended up making the sleeper module for the sea truck. It's actually rather difficult to pilot this with the amount of modules it has now. So adding a aquarium module and a docking module on the back of it would make it a huge pain. It's too long. It would really be just difficult to pilot and not really worth it. Plus those two modules don't seem that useful for me, at least not yet. So yeah, if you were wondering why we only made one new module, that's why. So now what I have to do is go ahead and find my base location, which I have already picked out, thankfully. As it turns out, I actually know pretty much what the entire base is going to look like. So I'm going to head over there, probably put up a beacon and a very temporary place to store all my resources and stuff to build up what the actual base is going to be. And I'll see you guys when we've moved some resources over and we can actually get to building the base. Okay, so that is just about everything moved over into this brand new base, which looks, ouch! That's not good. All my resources moved over into this brand new base, which looks almost identical to the last one. But of course, this is only temporary. This is just so I can access all my resources really close to where we're building it. And I have gathered a lot of resources. This many resources. It's a lot of resources, okay? I'm quite proud. So the base on the inside here looks very ugly. We've just got so many lockers, all our crafting stuff, posters just thrown up on the wall and on the floor. And it is way too dark right now. So I'm gonna use my handy new sea truck module to sleep away the darkness. There we go. Look how much better that is. Oh, have you got something for me? Thank you for the titanium sea monkey. The sea monkeys actually give me stuff now, by the way, and don't take stuff away. I don't know what the hell changed that. I haven't really done anything with them, but yeah, they've changed. So the shape of this base is going to be fairly simple. We're just going to have one large room positioned around around here. That kind of looks fine. Let's have a swim around and make sure before we build it. Yeah, that definitely looks fine to me, actually. That looks pretty good. Actually, you know what? No, it doesn't. I want to make it a little bit higher up than I had it there. Yeah, that's looking better, because I want to have a moon pool going off to this side. So in order to get the sea truck or prawn suit up into the moon pool, we don't want it to be too shallow. There we go. Had a bit of a lag spike, but that is one large room built. And we're going to have another one right on top. And then on top of that, we're going to have a Titan Hullfish in the way. That's brilliant, thanks, bud. But we're going to have a glass dome right on top here, because glass domes are awesome. Ah, that glass dome has caused the entire thing to start breaking, so let's just get rid of that for now. Let's pop a hatch on and see if we can repair some of this stuff.
Warning, emergency power only.
Oh boy.
Oxygen production
What
offline.
the hell? Shut up! I'm going to want a ladder going right down here. By the way, I have already designed most of this. I don't know if I've said that already. So if I want to put this glass roof on, then I'm going to need to do some reinforcements, probably on the bottom floor here, because the top is where we're going to be doing most of our living, and this is just going to have some facility stuff that's kind of ugly, kind of big, kind of in the way. 29 hull string. Now let's get this glass dome right on top, and you'll see just why I love this glass dome so much, and why I really wanted it on the base. Oh, yes! Is that not the coolest thing? Just a glass dome. That's all it took to make the base building so much cooler. You can see all the sea monkeys, and these guys are like seals. I haven't shown you them yet. So the first thing I want to get going down here on the bottom floor is a couple of bioreactors, because of course power is generally pretty useful when building a new base. So we're going to have one right there and one right here. That way we can start in the middle and access both of the interfaces. That'll give us a cap total of 1000 power, and we're probably going to end up putting some solar panels on there as well. So let's go ahead and chuck some of these plants in that we were growing outside, and just like that, we are actually getting some power. Now, there's a lot of decorational stuff in this game that I actually don't have yet. In Below Zero, you can get stuff like showers and toilets, fridges, and probably some other stuff that I can't quite remember right now. But I don't actually have those yet, but I do know where they'll go when we do get them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple partitions here, just to kind of break off that section that has the power, and we'll put a door here. And because of these ugly gaps right here, I'm gonna go ahead and put a locker right there-ish. Close as it can get to the bioreactor. It's not perfect, but it's about as good as we can get for blocking off that area, and we'll do the exact same here on the right side. Again, there's a lot of stuff we don't have. For example, some of the plants, we're going to have a lot of flower pots and stuff like that in this base, and we don't have access to most of the plants in the game at the moment. The power's actually doing pretty well in here, just with those few plants that we put in. But I imagine that's going to very quickly change when we put 3 water filtration machines down here. There we go, 3 water filtration machines. This section of the base, it looks very machinery, doesn't it? That obviously is not the right use of the word machinery, but shut up. And again, corners like this, they're all going to be filled up with other stuff in the future. I just don't have them yet. And I'm actually going to have to destroy this guy so that we can put this here. Then I want to put a vending machine here, because why the hell not? And pressed right up against that, we can have a counter. Then I want 2 power cell chargers lined up against this black box here on the floor. And then we're going to have 3 battery chargers lined up along this thing. And that is this little corner done, minus the plant. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't this a little bit over the top with 2 power cell chargers, 3 battery chargers? Well, yes. Absolutely, it is incredibly over the top, and I'm never going to use even one of these. But it looks pretty cool, and it's very expensive, and I can show it off, so shush. So now we should probably work on getting some walls built up here where we're actually going to be living, rather than down there where we're barely ever going to go. So we're going to have some walls wrapping around like this. This area in here is going to end up being a bathroom at some point. This area is going to be a little bedroom. Out here, I'm going to have an observatory. This little area is going to be my proper little workshop where I actually craft items and stuff like that. And you know what? Let's just put the moon pool on now, because it might cause problems later if I try to add it on and have stuff near that wall. So we'll be able to detach all our modules from the sea truck and put the head of it in here, or more likely our prawn suit in the future. We are getting so low on titanium, and I've barely even built half the base. Oh, I'm gonna have to farm more resources. We're gonna have our modification station here on the corner. It doesn't really need to be easy to access. I mean, it still is, but it doesn't need to be flat against the wall or anything, because we don't use it that often. Then lined up against that, we're gonna have a wall locker. Then we're gonna go for a simple little decorative desk, which if we get more flasks and stuff like that for decoration, I'll be able to put them on here and it'll look more like an actual workshop. We'll go for another locker up here against the wall, which is right next to where the fabricator is gonna go. In fact, we're gonna remove this. Then we're gonna line the fabricator against this wall here, symmetrical with these 2 black lines, and then we'll just put the locker back wherever it fits. And then we're going to have our very first recyclotron, which is very cool looking, by the way. And it took an ion cube to make, so it better be useful.
This hybrid technology allows for the recycling of natural resource components.
Cool. So I think we literally will just be able to drop something like that in here and it'll break it down into the resources it took to make. Let's go ahead and check that out. So we can just go like this, throw in my extra repair tool, click recycle, bada bing bada boom, we have the resources it took to make. So that is the workshop area done for the time being. I'm just realizing as I'm building this the amount of stuff that I don't have that I thought I had, but I'm just gonna have to build this to the best of my ability as we are going. So let's go counter, trash can, coffee machine, we need more titanium, god damn it.
The sweet scent of dirty bean water.
Dirty bean water. And then we'll go for the vending machine, and then we'll have a fridge right next to it when we can, and we are completely 100% out of titanium. 2 full lockers, more than 2 full lockers, and we didn't have enough. Oh, it's only been like 5 weeks in the making this episode, but I have made a few changes. I can't remember exactly what it was like before, but I've got some shrub nuts from the island. I've started growing those in these plant pots, so those will eventually grow up and look pretty cool. Eventually, when we do get more plants, we'll probably remove some of those and replace them with other stuff, but for now, that's fine. We've at least got a food source in the base. Down here, we've also added a few new walls. We've got a little desk with the shelf and a bin, or a trash can, as you Americans call it. Terrible accent, I know. Then we've got this little area in which we have a bunch of lockers, a crafting fabricator, and just a jukebox speaker, because why not? It's barely noticeable, but you might be able to see that this wall, this is right on the edge of the large room. But then you've got this wall going forward, and this wall's actually a bit closer, so these are all compartment walls going right round to here, which makes this area a little bit kind of more close quarters. If it was much further away, then you'd actually have to walk from side to side to access both lockers, but you can just do this, and you can access both sides at once, just walking down a straight line, rather than having to kind of zigzag, which I think is a lot better. And generally speaking, having more space would serve absolutely no purpose. I think it'd make it look worse, so I'm actually really glad with the fact that I added these walls here. The bathroom, I think I'm going to leave completely for a future episode, because we have literally none of the things that are going to go in it, except maybe a couple plant pots and some counters or something like that, and I'm not sure where they're going to go because we don't have the other stuff. Oh, we also got this thing, which I don't think I showed you guys. So now the only area we really have left to do is behind here. This is our little bedroom. We're going to have a couple aquariums right here, and we're going to have an observatory going out in that direction so we can look at all the jellies that are out there. And of course, because we have the storage down there in the bottom, we have removed the old base, the little temporary thing that we made probably about 5 minutes ago in this episode, so it wasn't there for long. And I put those solar panels up on the roof. They're not completely straight, but I don't really care because we're never going to look at them. Hello, sea monkey. Do you have something for me? He has a copper ore. Thanks, bud. So the first thing I want to put here is a single bed. We're going to use Fred's this time because it's kind of just the best looking out of the ones we have, but there is another one that at some point in the future I know we're going to find. So eventually we'll probably replace this guy, but for now let's squash him right into the corner. Next up, I want to have an executive desk right next to it. Then we're going to want a jukebox speaker up here just because why not. We'll go ahead and put a command chair right here. I think we're going to have to rotate this guy. Then we'll go for a plant pot down here. I would love to have an aromatherapy lamp, but we don't have young cotton anemones yet. And same thing goes for stuff like the executive toy. We don't have magnetite yet, so I can't make those and I can't put them around the base on shelves and stuff like that, which is kind of sucky because I would love to use those as decoration, but we'll just have to do that at some point in the future. Then I want to go ahead and have some wall shelves up above the bed, and we have a jukebox here in the kitchen, but I think having one by the bedroom is probably cool. And now let's see if we can get, where is it? There it is. Let's make up an observatory where we can go out here and take a look at the fishies. Look at those titan holefish. Look at that shoulder fish. Look at the sky. It looks so cool. I love the way the light shines down. I love it so much. And the titan holefish are honestly one of my favorite creatures in the game. They just look so cool. And we actually can see one jellyfish. I was hoping we could see, oh, there's a couple over there, one over there. And like I said, I want to put a couple aquariums right here. There we go. And like I said, there's so much stuff. I keep saying this, there's so much stuff we can't make quite yet, but this is about as good as we're going to get for the base build today. And I'm not going to lie, I'm really proud of it. I think it's a great idea. We've got this awesome area where all our water filtration machines and bioreactors are. We've got this area with all our chargers and a vending machine. We've got this awesome storage corridor. We've got our little kitchen area with some tables and a jukebox. We've got our workshop where we can craft stuff and store our equipment. We got our first moon pool. We've got a couple aquariums. We've got an awesome bedroom, and we've got an observatory. I am really happy with this base. And I've also gone ahead and changed the sea truck, which I'm now going to call the Centipede, although I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to completely forget what the name is and I'm probably just going to keep calling it sea truck, but it's the Centipede now, yay! So I think it's time that we give this base a proper name, and that is the Ingot. And now, after so long spent building this base and so long between me being able to record, we can finally get out and explore some of the more insane areas of the map.
Detecting bow of an astronautical Sol transgov vessel nearby. Vessel name, Mercury 2.